So welcome to a special side-by-side episode we decided to do because this year at Rezzed there are actually a heck of a lot of local multiplayer games.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe how many there were, and I had to stop playing them so I could get on with some single-player games.
Yeah, there was a real influx this year, especially compared to, I'd like to say last year. I weren't here last year.
Yeah, that's right. I was here last
year. A couple of
year.
years ago.
I was buying a house last year, so I was really confused. Yes, so this was a kind of co-op puzzle.
Each player played as a little triangle, one white, one black, and then there was like these different sort of streams of black and white cutting across the screen, and you would use your little triangle to try and break up the stream to allow the other person to go through, because if you were white and you touch the white stream,
boom,
you both die. And if you're black and you touch the black stream,
boom,
you both die. So it's about sort of cutting the flow off so that the other person can get through, and ultimately land in these kind of little shapes.
Yeah. So there's only about 7 levels. So we saw one extra mechanic appear during it, but I'm not sure how far it's going to go. Right?
Exactly.
Well, that was really interesting. But are we going to get 50 puzzles where it's like white and black streams? So
yeah, I think there was like 8 levels or something.
Yeah, I'm interested to see more of it.
The next one is Balance of Kingdoms.
Oh my God, Balance of Kingdoms! I think we fell in love with that just by watching it somehow.
Yeah. Well, we were just nipping off somewhere else, and I was just like, "What was that?" Had a quick look.
Shifty, yeah.
And we came back a short while later and had a quick go. And it's if you know of a game called Castle Storm, which is kind of based on I got an Angry Birds quality to it, where you're sort of launching things at each other. This is that, but you build a little empire on this stick, balancing it.
It's like this little. It's like you get this platform and it's balancing on this tiny stick, as you said, and you build on it, and then after a certain point in time, then you start shooting each other. Yeah.
So there's a build phase and then there's an attacking phase.
And it really feels it's almost like a competitive Angry Birds in a weird way.
Yeah.
You want to see you take apart the buildings of your opponent, and it's just so much fun just doing that.
And only on the last game did I realise that some of the buildings that you sort of put down, they generate a little bit more gold for you, or they generate more people, and those are resources that you spend to produce the blocks that you sort of balance out over your sort of platform. And once you get to the attacking phase, the bulls start knocking things out, and then your guns topple over, and they can do you damage as well. And the games are short and snappy, aren't they? But there's quite a lot of excitement when
it could be. We actually went quite long with
we
our
never
games,
wobbled
actually.
off, did we?
No, it was just more of a time run out.
Yeah.
We never actually managed to defeat each other. I mean, I said I had more score on the last one, but that's
you thrashed me on the last one.
Yeah. But with one cannon.
And the thing is, you can switch. So if you start getting things knocked out, you can actually switch back to building and still build stuff. And
in the battle phase.
But of course, if the other player is comfortable and they're launching everything at you, it's dangerous to just start dropping stuff, because that can just get knocked over, as it did for me.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry if we can't tell you if they're on PC or whatever to consoles, just because there's just so many of games here. We haven't got the details, right? You look them up if they look interesting.
The next one was BFF or Die.
BFF or Die, yes. We did actually fall in love with that quite quickly. It was very sad. It was stuck in the Tentacle Collection.
Sandwiched.
Sandwiched between 2 other games. I'm not even sure what those games were.
Yeah.
But it felt like they were in a little cubby hole. And it's a multiplayer game. You need more people to stand around it. And it was quite good because they encouraged you to share a controller, right? They wanted 2 players on 1 controller.
Yeah,
and you just had to basically. It was just picking up stuff and surviving, really.
Yeah, because it was set in sort of like pyramids, and so there was like mummies wandering around, and you had to use like grabbers to pick the mummies up and put them in other areas that are safer, and open little doors to try and get in, and the other player would have to sort of bait the mummies around the maze while the other player's trying to mop up collectibles. So So the big question is again how that's going to develop, isn't it?
I think we just did a few levels and it was quite simple, and it started to get a little bit tense.
Yeah.
Because if one of the players get knocked down, then you can assist and get them back up.
You got to get back there.
But yeah, if you all get knocked out, then that's of course the end of the level.
And the key thing is as well, when you actually finally pick up all the collectibles, you've got to then high five each other for the level to end.
Yeah, everybody's got to be alive and together to win.
Yeah, and we only played 2 players, but I believe that it's up to 4, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
The next one is Catastronauts.
Oh my God, Catastronauts! That we just basically. Sorry for all the other people who were visiting, but you didn't have a chance. We were just. I wrote on Twitter, Overcooked meets Space Alert.
Yeah.
So if you know what Overcooked is, it's a mad panic. It's like everybody trying and cook some stuff, but this one is set in space. So you're being under attack, which means you have to fire lasers, repair damage, put out fires, and there was other things on the levels like charging batteries. And
a solar flare.
Everybody has to run into a room to get away from the solar flare.
And press the door to close it behind you so that it protects you, or else you all get fried.
We never actually got fried, but we felt the tension.
Yeah, it's like, oh, get back. I'm like, I'm just going to put out a fire. No, hang on, we got to get back.
Catastronauts were stuck in the corner of the basement indie room.
Yeah.
They still managed by the end of today.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
You could see there was a big crowd.
Yeah,
It's always crowded.
Pretty much
there.
chocker, wasn't it, all the time? So, but yeah, it looked really promising, and I'm optimistic that that'll be a good thing to be following Overcooked up with, because it did very much feel like I don't want to say an Overcooked like, but
no, that's a terrible phrase.
It's got this nice sort of bold style about it. It's very clean and simple. I mean, I say simple, but we were getting the controls a little bit confused, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm always bad with new controls.
Throwing toolboxes at things to fix it, throwing fire extinguishers into the fire.
Well, actually, sometimes throwing the fire extinguisher over the fence was a good thing, but Anyway, what's next?
Hack Tag.
Yes, which was a game that you didn't like the look of because of the sort of furry style.
Yeah.
And I actually wasn't necessarily looking forward to it, but we just were next to it, and developer grabbed us. This is the kind of thing that happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, it's the press pass.
Yeah, I've got to say, a friend had recommended this to me anyway, or at least he'd pointed it out to me, and I was like, well, we ought to give that a go.
Yeah. But it was really good. Actually, we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we did.
So basically, one person is a hacker, one person is the sneaker.
Yep.
So Gregg was going around the offices, and I had to shut down systems. But also, I had to avoid antivirus systems and things like that. So we had to work together in many ways. I was, helping out with cameras, and occasionally you would freeze the antivirus systems. But if we got caught, the other one had a limited amount of time to get the other one out.
20 seconds or something to try and either break the other player out of their sort of captive.
Yeah, I could open the door for you.
Or I'd have to try and get you off a server or something that you were trapped on. But there's guards patrolling, and Joel, as the hacker, could sort of slam doors and make noises.
That was fun. I actually managed to slam a door in a security guard's face.
Yeah, while I was being escorted into
that's how we got
prison.
him out of jail before we got into jail. So.
And the developer came up to us at one point and he was like, "You're really close to the end." And that was the kiss of death, wasn't it?
Yeah, we died.
Yeah, we both got locked up shortly after that. Yeah, we're like, oh no.
So I really liked that. Am I right in saying that was actually out already? What is it?
Mork Red.
Mork Red. Okay, right. I don't know what that means,
no.
But the game is about a ball of light, and you have to push the ball of light to your destination, basically, and not step into shadow. If at any point a player steps into shadow, they instantly disintegrate.
Yeah. And of course, this ball of light casts a lot of long shadow. So if you ever walk behind your buddy, you just disintegrate because the shadow cast from the ball will wipe you out.
I had to be really careful.
Yeah,
and it was a lovely way that the kind of characters that were kind of tiptoeing around the edges, and the way they walked was really interesting.
Yeah, there was almost...
the characters were nervous, the way they were moving around, I don't want to be caught in shadow.
Yeah, and at one point during the demo that we played, there was this sort of tentacled creature that grabbed the ball and started pulling it through the environment, and you're like, oh no, my ball. and then you're like, oh, it's getting dark. So you have to run and follow the light, but you also have to be wary of the shadows that the light's casting as it passes through the environment.
I think for the early levels we played, it felt like it didn't need to be co-op. It was nice, but you could easily do it with single player. But when we got to, I think, about the third level, whatever, it started to feel like you did need two people to get things into place. Like just one person was going to be a bit tedious, like the pushing back.
A bit
and
unwieldy,
forth.
because two of you can be on opposing sides of the ball to just nudge it along. I know there was one section where we had to push it along this sort of bridge that had broken in the middle, pushing the ball together. But
and
I was like,
trying to do it in the middle,
nope,
right?
I'm doing this on my own.
That's true, yeah.
Splash, dead.
Yeah.
So, but it was visually, I thought it was quite striking, and I really like the concept as well. You could actually get 4 players into it, two on each pad, but I'm not sure you really need 4. Two seemed quite good.
I think the game, they're looking for a publisher at the moment to get the funding to kind of finish the game. Currently the status of that project unknown, but it looked really interesting.
Yeah.
Muddle Dash, which was a game I wasn't sure what to think of. I played it with one of the marketing people, and I didn't, I wasn't playing with Gregg, so I didn't know if it was any good or not.
How it would translate.
So we went and had a go. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's actually extremely simple. You just get a present and take it to a party, and you go around all this. You can kick each other and get the present off the other person, and whoever carries the present into the party is the winner. And it's so funny. So many times it was in the last second, the switchover.
Yeah.
And
as stressful as you might think that is, it's not. You end up laughing a lot because you just got pipped at the very last moment. And there's like reeds that slow you down as you're running through, and there's little loop-the-loops and bounce pads and things like that. And I will say the controls felt a little bit loose, a bit wobbly.
It feels a little bit too slippy.
Yeah.
But we still had a lot of fun with it, even though I'm not necessarily a 100% fan of how it feels.
Yeah. I really like the concept, and we had a lot of fun with the few rounds we played.
And it was of a lineup of games which seemed very family oriented. This is definitely like the kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very cartoony.
Yeah,
so. Regular human basketball.
Yep.
I don't think that's something that's great for 2 players. We did do 2 players.
You know what? I know our first game we were doubtful, but I think as we started to get a little bit more of a feel, even 1v1, it was still funny because we just got into a right pickle, didn't we? You play a little character each, but then that little character walks into these gigantic sort of robots, these kind of Heath Robinson-esque mechanical things with sort of cogs and gears, and inside you've got a load of buttons that controls the robot.
So it was like turn magnet on and off, which is what you use to grab the basketball. You move the magnet, rotate it, and there was the ones for the rockets, turn on and off and rotate those, and move left and right.
Oh, and there was up and down, so you could raise the height of your
when it goes
robot.
up and down. Oh my god, it was just like, it's madness.
Because it is madness.
You have to run around inside the robot to activate all of these controls, and there's sort of second order. There's 2 layers to get through to get the ball into the net. It was just ridiculous. There
was also the element of when you started nudging up to the other person's robot, sometimes the robot would turn on its side, and that just made platforming it even harder because all the buttons were vertical.
Yeah, that's right. So every time the robot moved too much, suddenly you are falling inside the robot. Oh God, how do I get up here and stuff like that? But I guess we should end on saying that it's from the guys who did Crawl,
Powerhoof, yeah. So. It reminded us of.
I think it's Jesus versus Dinosaurs.
Yeah, and
it's got a feel for that.
And Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time has similarities with that as well. With characters moving around and controlling a larger entity, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that being great with 4,
So the idea is 2 players have to have a competition to make the best forgery of pictures on the screen. You have a limited number. You've got a limited number of time to make a forgery of a painting they present to you. So a limited number of colours, limited number of brushes.
Brush sizes,
Yeah, and the thing is, we kind of had fun, but it was sometimes a sense where you weren't sure, like, why was that person did better or whatever. I mean, if you sat down and analysed it, you say, I
used the wrong colour. So
Bone colour. That's probably obvious. It's obvious. I would have noticed that. But yeah, what did you think?
Well, I really liked the concept, and I still thought it was fun, but I hated the mouse controls. Like, they just
I don't know
felt
if it
really.
Was it a bad mouse, or was it a bad mouse control?
This is the thing, because I was looking at the mouse, and I know the mouse, and apparently the mouse is very good. The two mice that were
so
there.
well as your friend.
But it just felt really like I was really fighting to get the brush to move in the direction I wanted it to.
Yeah.
When I watched you and my girlfriend playing it together, I could see that she'd sort of painted something in the background, and I could see that you were drawing this little picture. You got this little frame in there, and the detail you were putting into it was quite nice, and it did reflect the actual image. But
Got the colours wrong, right?
well, you got the colours wrong, but obviously the game wasn't able to read
That's right.
the details.
It's like if maybe my detail was better, but the colours were off, and it was matching mainly on like
Colours and
area
positioning.
over
Yes,
colour.
that's right. Yeah. So there's a perception issue there that, I mean, a human eye would go, you know what?
It's
I
not
actually
bad,
quite
yeah.
like
I
that
could
one.
see it.
Yeah.
But I thought the other thing was I kind of expected to be a bit more madcap. I thought it was like under real time pressure. You got like 30 seconds, you know, and you'd be like splashing the
Yeah,
paint on.
the
and
Mona
awful,
Lisa.
yeah. But it wasn't like that at all.
No.
You're actually quite considered.
2
with the way
minutes.
you're like,
Yeah.
Yes. Right, well, I think that wraps it up. And so there were more games than we're talking about. We just decided to stop after a while because it's just like, you know, I don't like Gregg that much. So we'll hopefully come back in the summer, well, after the summer, with another season of Side by Side.
Yep.
And maybe some of these will feature in the series. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. We just have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
I felt so it's not sloppy forgeries, right? So the idea is two players have to have a competition to make the best forgery of a picture on the screen with a limited number of colours and a limited number of brushes. And so yes. No, thank you, birds. So sloppy forgery.